Hey team, Jay Song here, and I'm going to be covering Bitcoin and some things I'm seeing on price action that you may want to be aware of. So, on the daily chart, if we start on a daily chart, we have price that has been battling that has been battling to stay above its cut here at 38,125. And so we had a target this morning. I had said that price should hit a target, the 4622 hit, and it hit it exactly. It hit exactly. The issue is that it came right back down, and there's a strong chance price is going to close here on this before the day's over. Now that may not look like it may be important, but we're going to mark this line a long time ago as an important point. And for price to be battling it all today, I think that it's going to close in the next 2 hours and 35 minutes, hard close against it. If it does, it's going to look like the upside down hammer shape, which generally is already a sign for negative prices, because we had came all the way up and then we came all the way back down. And then when you're looking at volume, this could be interpreted as all selling, and it's very possible that it is. Okay. If I look at the 4-hour chart, if I were to look at the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, you could see that price came up through the line. And so this is why I said this morning, I think we're still going to go up and hit its other target, because we closed above and then we came and sat down on the line. Okay, and then when we did that, we were just waiting for price to hit its target. Well, price hit its target, and instead of going further than the target, it actually looks like we pressed through, and then we're going to come back up here before time's up. On the 4-hour chart, we also have 2 hours and 34 minutes. So price could either do a couple things. Price could close below it, and then in that case, it may come back up, touch it once, and then come down, which is very likely, because a lot of this from yesterday looks like it was a pump anyway. It's just a pump, not really sustained prices. Especially, it just looks like price wanted to hit its targets, which I can respect that. There is a few that are up there. Here's the next one. But we're hitting our previous core targets, and this could really be the sign of what's to come. Now, there's something you should know, okay, on why. First of all, this is important. Again, I don't trade Bitcoin, but I follow Bitcoin because what happens in Bitcoin happens to the rest of cryptocurrencies. So there's a couple of things we want to be aware of. First of all, if you were to try to draw a straight line from here to here, you're going to come up a little bit short. So that tells us we can be drawing a parabolic. And I got something very special that I'm going to show you guys in today's video too. I'm going to show you a tutorial. But if we were to take a parabolic and we were to start curving that around as best we can, up, and let's just make this really thick so you guys can see what I'm actually doing here. But if I were to take a white line and I would try to draw a parabolic towards those cores, that would give me a curve of about this angle. Yep. This takes a little bit of practice to get it right. So price can really come and not start until it broke through here. So it's very possible we could actually just see a fall to about here. Now here's the thing with steep lines. When they are steep, they change how price can affect as time goes on. Okay, so if price were to hit it right now, it's pretty low. But if we waited a few more hours, it's a little bit less, and a little bit less, and a little bit less, and that's how parabolics work. That's the same with trend lines. When you're on the underside of a trend line, as I was showing you guys the other day, as we were on the underside, the underbelly of that line. But because the line was almost straight up in the air, the more time goes on, the more time it has to pump up, which is still inorganic. Okay, because generally price should be doing that a little more naturally. But we are still on the underside of that. So there's that. And I want to let you be aware that tomorrow is a big time for cryptocurrency when it comes to XRP. And because it's not just XRP, it could actually affect Bitcoin as well. Because tomorrow there's a lot of things happening. And one of the things is that I think the biggest thing is that there's supposed to be clarity before on the 28th. So it's very likely there's going to be a big pump tomorrow with XRP. In addition to that, I have some, and you guys can believe what you want, but I'm just letting you guys know. I had, we had some people come to us and tell us that prophetically they've been receiving from the Lord that XRP is going to have some big moves within 3 days, and that was yesterday. So that's very, very possible that we can experience a big pump. Now, I don't believe it's XRP activation. I do believe that's going to happen, but that's not the XRP activation I'm talking about when we go to the moon. But it is possible that it can be, pretty high up there. Now, if you look at the numbers I'm expecting maybe if we have the big pump, we can hit maybe $5 to $10 to $20. Back in April of 2021, we were at this is Bitcoin. I'll get to XRP in just a little bit. We were at very high numbers when XRP was first launched back in the day a few years ago. So let's go to XRP and I'm gonna show you guys. Okay. No, not that one. So, back in the day when XRP was first out, look how high it was. Here in 2021 in May, it was $1.75. Well, you look on the daily chart, that was nothing compared to back here in 2018 of $2.74. Now, we did fall from grace, so even if we hit $5, $10, $20, it's still possible we can fall. I'm not saying we are. I still really believe that we are going to have a big crash, but I believe it's going to play out indifferent. I believe that if there's a big pump, that's a great chance to take some profits, and that's a great chance to set for more good setups with price action. Either way, I know there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but as it is, this is a critical time for XRP, because coming into the next 3 days, even if we were sitting on the underside of this, I'm not sure I want to let my XRP go at this moment. First reason is because when I did the phantom support here, okay, clone this line, you can put it here, which is that dotted, which we hit today, and there's another one, which is the real one, which is up here. And both of those are actually, and you can see them, not so far from each other. So if price were to only hit it once, approximately, and it barely tapped and came all the way down, generally those times is that price is greedy for more, and price will usually try to attack those lines a little more aggressively, either push through and hard close against. But it didn't even come up to the second one. So it could be because of this, and this is a daily chart, so which is 1, 2, 3, 4 days worth. Okay, so that is understandable that it's not going to all happen in one day. Okay, but we are prepared for some wild swings. And you need to be too, if you're going to be trading this. And I keep telling you, everybody, I'm warning against this. It's best you stay on the beach. If you're holding XRP, it's better just to hold XRP and just put it in a safe. Don't even worry about it. Don't look at it until sometime later, until next year, 2 years, maybe next year. But there are people like me who do trade, and I trade by it up and down, and I try to get the best prices, and I do my best to read price and price maps. But with this said, we're really going to be looking at the next couple hours to see if price is hard closing against any of these points, because it's very possible that this could be negative for price, but this weekend could be very good for price. I mean, not this weekend, but this week could be very, very good for price. And so, I have a dilemma. What I'm gonna do with what I'm gonna do, and I haven't said exactly what I'm gonna do. With my XRP. So I haven't really said what I'm gonna do with my XRP. This is something for everyone to really always decide. Now, this in these videos, they're never financial advice. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes, teaching you guys how to draw on price. You can make your own decisions about what you're going to do. We can tell what price will do for short terms. We can tell a lot of times good things where price is going and what things to be looking for. But as far as what you should do with your XRP, this is something between you, and it may be something you should be prayerful about even if you are a trader, because normally, if in 2 hours we do hard close against either here, or against our support lines, normally that'd be negative anyway. But what would we do in those cases? Well, in my original analysis, I still see support here on the daily chart at these levels, which is the 56 range and the 55 range. I have them on my other charts. Okay, but these are very safe. This is a very safe level that I would expect a bounce. Okay, this is what I would expect. This is the buy range. And so on my other charts, the other day, I had posted this, and I had told everyone in my Telegram, I said, hey, I have a buy order down here. Now this morning I moved it because I wanted to hit the target, and I missed my the first target. It'd been nice to take some profit at that target when price did hit it, but I don't need every trade. But it's nice. It's nice to hit your target. It's good to take out your exits when you do get those targets. Not saying you should short at those lines. Okay, keep in mind, I'm not telling anyone to short. I'm not shorting this, but there's a difference. You do need to know when there's a target. But if you look at price here, we're really forming the upside down hammer at the top of a run. Now, combine this information with what we're seeing. I do pay attention to the Riddlers, because they say very relevant information. When David Schwartz talked about something about, I think it was not profits, but it was something like that. That was the very top of an XRP market at that time. It was the very top. I wasn't paying attention at the time. Later, I found out how accurate they were, and so I pay attention to the Ripple Riddlers. I pay attention to some of those things because they have to do with markers, not so much dates from what I've seen, but markers. When you see certain events happen or certain news events happen, they relate to a part of their story. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you may just maybe do some homework on the Ripple Riddlers, and the riddles. They have been posting riddles for years, and we believe, a lot of people believe, they're insiders who work for RippleNet, the company, and are just leaking secret information about certain things that would happen. And so today, just a little while ago, David Schwartz, he posted something about, look at these huge waves, and he put the word 29. He just on Twitter just a few moments ago, 29 something. Huge waves are incoming, you know, as he's on his boat, and there's a video of, you know, this big, huge waves coming in. Now, somebody had said, oh, okay, got it, at $1.29 on the 29th or something like that. It's, those things may sound very silly, but you have to remember that the people who are on the inside, they always talk in coded messages. They always talk in pictures. It really isn't a conspiracy. You can follow it yourself. You can see it. Like Mr. Poole, again, I always tell you, when he posts out those smiley faces with X, you need to pay attention and compare what happens to the crypto markets when he posts those smiley faces with the X's, because they mean certain things. And usually it's on those days that the markets crash. Or as I told you in other videos, when you see people with laser eyes in their Twitter profiles, and these could be celebrities and it could be anyone, when they have laser eyes and they're talking about Bitcoin, that means there's going to be a big Bitcoin crash in the coming days. And so, you know, you got to take all of these things into what is it called? In the bigger picture. You have to look constantly at the bigger picture. What are they not telling you? What information are you not privy to see? Well, there's a lot you're not privy to see. A lot. And all you can do is your best. Now look at this. If price closes below this resistance, then all this was for the whole day is just a huge fake out shakeout. And then if price closes in the next 2 hours below this line, we're definitely getting to 55. And then I would place, I'd buy some more XRP around 55 area. That's what I would do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'd be looking to get in another position of XRP. I would even if whatever my current loss is, I would take that as a loss, because I would think that we're going to this area. That's very likely. And that's if we hard close below this. We still have 2 hours to go. It's very possible we can come back up, but there's going to be a lot of big ups and downs in this. And I told you guys, this is going to be some very dangerous, choppy trading, and I want you guys all to just be very, very leery. However, you never really can go wrong, because it's like I always say, any XRP under $1 is just fantastic prices compared to where we're going. Will we hit those very, very lows below 55? If we were to come below here, I think it's enough to strike it and break it. There is some evidence that we can break those. Now I'm gonna spend the rest of this video teaching you guys today about RSI. Okay, so I'm gonna show you RSI and what I use when I do use it. RSI is relative strength index, and relative strength index is a tool that you can use yourself. And I used to use it extensively back in the day, but after a while, when I started adopting the methods of just drawing on price maps in conjunction, using the sword methods, which is its foundation is drawing, and plotting out the price map. Most of the time, I'm mostly concerned with the higher time frames and what pictures they paint on a map and how prices reacted that, and just using a smaller time frame to get a better picture of what price is doing for the day. Just like I know, if prices close below this, you just look at that candle in its context, and then you know that, hey, this is bad news for the rest of the days. But again, this is something to be taken with a grain of salt, even if the charts were to tell you that, hey, price is negative, and prices, may tell us that it's negative in the next few hours. If it does, is that time to really sell if inside information trumps, and it often does. It often does. The inside information can trump the actual charts themselves. And if you don't believe me, just look at the silver markets. There's so much setups on silver, and it almost never does anything, because there is some overall manipulation that's beyond charting. And a lot of times you can still chart even with manipulation, but there are some times when things are just very, very not right. and you just got to be ready for those because they can absolutely happen. So let's go on to RSI, and I'm going to teach you guys how to use RSI. Okay, so RSI is very, very interesting to use because it can tell you when price is ready to is overbought and oversold, and it's an oscillating signal, oscillator, oscillator. Am I saying it right? That usually when price is when the RSI is high, that means it's time to sell, and when it's low, it's time to buy. Okay, so buy, sell, buy, and then let's see, there's another one, sell. Okay, but is it that simple? Well, not exactly, because there is a fault, because it works when it doesn't. If you look at see in here and say, oh, we're in the sell zone, and then you're looking at price, and then price is just going up higher, and then and we're going down, and you're like, what happened? And then you finally come up here and you sell again, and then we just go even a little bit higher, and you're like, whoa, and then finally it goes down. You're like, wait, what happened? So there is something very simple that you can use. A lot of times, like down here, price came to a sell here, but then it went up. Okay, look at, or then when price came down here, I'm sorry, well, yeah, that is a buy. Let me get a better example. You could buy it, and then price goes up for a little bit and comes back down. So all these indicators alone, it's really good if you have a map. But I want to show you something even easier that can give you a better and solid signal, a more solid signal if you are using RSI. And this is something you can use on a lot of indicators, and it's going to be a very simple thing, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's look at here. So RSI hit above its lines here, but then price went way above, and we were in the sell zone. Okay, so it was it went all the way down and then went straight up again. Should we have sold right there? You tell me. We still went up for many days, for many hours. And then when we did come down, we only came a little bit, and all the way here. So there is times when you're going to get a lot of false signals, but a way to really help you with that is to simply draw on RSI. I'm going to show you how. So in the same way that you draw on price, you can draw on RSI using trend lines. So if I were to see that this is a trend on RSI, then even though price is giving me those sell signals, all I'm doing is being vigilant until price actually cracks through those and maybe comes back up. And then you're going to get a higher odds signal. Does that make sense? Look at that. So let's just do a few examples live, and you can add this to your toolkit to help you get better signals. Okay, so there's one. Here, let's see. This was kind of going up, so let's see if we can draw that. It's a little choppy because we only hit it twice, but you could use it. Let's see what happened there. Right there, yep, price came down. And these really work good when you're using them on higher time frames to see what the overall trend is for maybe that day or maybe that hour. Okay, let's do another one. We got some down signals, but it wasn't anything trendable until we came and were able to connect these two lines. So let's see. Here we go, a top to that top, and then price came up and set on this line, and when it did, should be a good range to get in. And if we looked at price on that time, oops, let me go back. This was right there. Yep, there it is. See, more good signals. And it wasn't so strong, but it was. This simple technique you can use on any time frame, but it works, again, it works best where the candles make sense. So where you see that it's not making so much sense, just avoid it. just avoid it. You don't need every trade. You don't need to be taking every trade. There are some times when it's better to step out of the market or take a loss. Okay, here you can see price broke through here and came up to this point. It's almost like a sword cut right there, which is something we recognize doing this a lot. I haven't checked price, but let's see. Okay, so let's see what happened that day. Yep, look at that. So here's another successful signal. And this is how you really read out RSI. A lot of people don't know this, and you should be, if you're not using this technique already with your RSI. If you're an RSI, trader, you need to use this because it's really going to help you weed out a lot of your bad signals. And then we'll just do a few more examples. Let's actually see if we can do it on Bitcoin. This one's a little funky. I almost wonder if we can do a parabolic on there. I never really do parabolics. But here we go. Yeah, look at that. And then that would have been about right there. Okay. So let's see what price was doing on that day. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Well, I'll leave that signal alone. But look at this. It's pretty interesting stuff that you can catch the peaks, the heights of those markets. And instead of just using an RSI alone, using a signal. So this is just XRP on a 4-hour chart. There's not always a signal every day. There is sometimes, and it's just going to give you a better, higher chance for success when you're using these type of indicators and this type of trading. Let's look at one real quick. It depends on your interpretation of reading, but check this out. Here's something on this chart. It didn't show in my other data feed. I need to be using this data feed better. This one went down, went up right there in this area. So this would have been a good exit if we were using this. Gosh, where was this feed earlier? I was looking at this feed earlier in a different feed, and it didn't show that. So this is Bitstamp. I need to be using this one more often. And so you can see some good examples of knowing when. Let's just do a few more examples on Bitcoin. Let's see what we got here. What is RSI saying on a 4-hour with Bitcoin? Well, with Bitcoin, nothing yet. If we did here to here, it's more of a curved. Let's do a parabolic as well. Okay, curved tool. Is this actually, no, it's not. It's not really something that we can draw as it is. So I would leave that as alone. I would leave that alone. If it's not drawable, then you really want to stay away from it, because this may be, but then there's still another wave down here. So we need to be aware of that. And then price should come back up and hit one of these. If it does, that may be a good sign that we're going down. But these are the 4-hour charts. Let's see if we have any more signals on Bitcoin that I see. Okay, here's something. This is pretty right here. Oops. Yeah, see all that? Up and then on top. And if you go to that area, that would have given you some buy indicators here. So you would be maybe looking at this area to buy on a 4-hour chart. That would give you plenty of time to come up with to draw on price at those areas. And you could have, we draw core to core. Maybe what we saw here, that there's a good steep cut right there. And then we would have drawn our other cut right there. And that would have been golden for a sword cut, because we're just drawing course to course. It's a little off, but you get the idea. This would have been a little less steep. Maybe right there. There we go. And so that would have been the same point. So these kind of things happen in the market. And when you see an RSI that makes sense, go ahead and trade it. Oh, here was another one. Oh, what happened? BTCUSD Bitstamp. Oh, that was a good one right there. Look at that one. Look at that one. Let's draw that one. See what we see here. So I hope you guys are learning something. Look, it went cut right here. But then if you extend it out, there was even, it depends on how you draw it. If I was drawing it from this, there's a lot, and this is like how I explained the clocks. But even if you didn't, you just drew it as it was. It cuts right here, and hits and rejects here. So let's draw that cut. And what do we have here at March 21st at 1 a.m. March 21st at 1 a.m. price went down. And then what happened when we first cut right there? Look at when we first cut, that was the top. So you're going to have a lot higher chances if you're looking to see generally where price is cutting at. Okay, that's going to give you a lot better chance. And then finally, let's do some on the daily chart and just get some practice. So this is something anyone can put down if you're using the app Trading View, and you can, if you're a part of the chart room, you can join for free and just see my maps. So that price happens, you're going to meet a lot of people in the community, some people in the trading community, some people just in the holding community, and there's just definitely nothing wrong with us. Look at this. This is very interesting. If we were to connect these all the way down here, that is very good news. Look at that. We cut. Where did we cut? Where did price break through? Actually broke through here. So we would have known about right there that price was doing something funny. So that was actually a good sign. That's actually a very good sign. We should have saw that. We need to add this to our toolkit every day. But yeah, I saw people using RSI. I remember that I used to do this all the time for this. And it's just something great to add to your toolkit. Drawing on RSI. I don't know how many people do it. I have not met people who've done it. I will tell you that. But when you're drawing on RSI, you're going to get a lot better signal. And you got to draw where the candles make sense. Again, there's not always a trade. There's not always a setup. But sometimes you can see a pattern. Here's one. Look at curve tool. Down here. Here. See how I'm doing that? Like, you don't catch all of them. This one it didn't catch. But it was starting to tell a story. When we swing all the way back up, it told me here the price is weak. What was happening on that day? What was happening on that day? Or this times, these days. Look at that. It's a start of a big bear run. Because we had this wide swing. So when those are the most strongest, remember I always tell you how I like price? I say I need it to do this or I need it to do that. Well, this is what I'm talking about. When I see it come up like that, that's what I want. That's actually able to be sustained. When you just see price just cutting through, just up without stopping or things like that, it's a high chance you can come right back down in those areas, which is what we're seeing now with Bitcoin and with XRP. We're seeing these big, massive moves and then coming right back down because it's hard to sustain it. Now, are we still in an uptrend? Yes, I believe so, because we are sitting on some curve support. And I did have some people in the chart room today that were drawing their parabolics, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's good. You should be drawing on price to see what your eyes see and to see what maps. No matter what level of technical analysis you're using, no matter what type or what style you're using, you will benefit. You will absolutely benefit from drawing maps on price. Now, you can always join in the chart room to see what I'm doing. I do not offer trading advice. I do not offer any of those things. I can only just let people know educationally what I'm doing in the markets for XRP. But I'm just letting people know these 3 days. These if price were to hit $1 something for XRP, people are really gonna think that's we hit some great prices. So if we hit up here, because we still have some some unfinished prices, like here up in 70, 80, this price right here, 70, 80, 43, this range, we have some very good very good price that are untested. This if price were to swing up all the way up here, that's a great sword cut. But the other thing is that if we experience such a big boom because of something inorganic, like a settlement, like reached this weekend or on the 28th or before August 11th, then we can really see some heavy prices. One thing I do see, guys, is that it's coming close. It's coming close. Now, if we hit again, if we go below tonight, it's very possible we can get into the buy range of 56.83, and if that's the case, then I'm just gonna get some more if we get into there. But currently, I'm still up here, waiting for prices to hit its other targets. So let's see what happens. We still got 2 hours. Thank you for sitting down, watching me draw, and I hope you guys learned something, and I hope I gave you guys a new tool to start practicing. And you can even use those RSIs on the lower time frames, because those will actually help predict some of the smaller candles from going up. Remember to always, when you're trading, use a top-down view first. You can start with a monthly, then a weekly, then a daily, and then you don't have to check them so often. Just draw on them what you see, the major resistance points, and then go on to your lower level trading, because that's going to tell you when you have these times when price is free to just go without hesitation to its next points. If you see a lot of times when there's a lot of congestion, like there was a little while ago, coming down from here, and then you're going to see price battling it out for a while until the stronger of the trend emerges victorious. And then again, there's other external factors that you can miss, or sometimes you can't see. And the more you draw on your price, the more you're going to be able to make sense of price. The more you won't be just like, what's happening, and everything's just like a toss of the dice or a gamble, because that's what people who are starting to trade, they start feeling like. And the other thing I will just remember, you guys, never fall in love with the trade. If you're just trading to trade, just don't fall in love with the trade. You need to be able to cut your losses when you do take a loss. If you are trading so much that you cannot afford to take your loss and walk away, or to take a loss from your trade, then you're probably over trading, and that happens a lot in the markets. You need to be able to, you see the professional gamblers, they walk into the casinos. The professionals, they're not afraid to take a loss. They understand it's part of the business. The goal is to get so many victories in their belts that that the losses don't really matter so much in the end run, because they have such a high amount of times when you are successful, and that's what's going to really help you out. But in the beginning, if you're really trading with more than you can afford to lose, then don't do it. It's better you just don't. Now, there's some people who have just followed and just started following me, and because maybe they saw my dream video. Just remember, there's people who come to me on both sides. I've been trading for quite a while, and I've been watching price action since I was 17, 18 years old. So I like to trade. But that doesn't mean that everyone should be a trader. And if you're watching my videos, that doesn't mean you should be a trader. With all of this that's happening, like I said in the beginning of today's video, and like I always say to everyone, for many people, if you've never surfed before, it's best you stay on the beach when Humungadunga is coming, because Humungadunga is coming. And for many people, it's just enough to make friends in the community. It's enough to maybe be aware of what's happening for the day, or being aware of the price maps, or what things are on their way, or what type of news is coming from the XRP community, or just hearing other spiritual messages that people are sharing about, dreams about XRP, or dreams they're having about investing or holding some, because I believe that the Bible says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. And I believe that it's God's good pleasure to put his money into the hands of people who are going to do good with that money. And I believe that perhaps if you're listening to this, maybe that's you. And maybe God's trying to get you some blessing. And maybe the Lord has been leading you to move away from certain things, maybe like Bitcoin. Maybe because these things are things you don't understand. There's a lot of people who really believe that Bitcoin has what it takes to become the new world's reserve currency. You guys need to be aware of a lot of things, like when the IMF said we will not be using Bitcoin, or the fact that if everyone used Bitcoin tomorrow for transactions, there is not enough electricity in the world to power Bitcoin. Or for the fact that the more expensive Bitcoin gets, the more expensive it is to do a transaction. Like, again, how they said not so long ago when Bitcoin was at 50,000, a cup of coffee was $50 if you had to pay it in Bitcoin. And trust me, I've done transactions in Bitcoin. It is expensive. And yet you have the world banks and the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, everyone is using the Ripple's interledger technology, which uses XRP. Now, this isn't the XRP fan club, but I'm letting people know what XRP is and what XRP does. And XRP is it's a ledger protocol, and it's a technology where everything is converted into XRP and then shot through the other end. So it connects the networks. And there's a few other coins that we're going to be using for very specific purposes. And the truth is that because of regulations that are coming, it really is going to be true that 99% of all cryptos are going to fail and are going to be regulated into oblivion. And there's only going to be just a handful that survive the regulations to come, and some things. And there's a lot of reasons why. And these things will become very clear and very apparent in the coming months. When you start hearing about certain news events that are tied to Bitcoin. But I won't get into that today. I just want to let you know that there's a lot of reasons why Bitcoin has to fail. And XRP per transaction cost 0.0003 cents, or 0.0008 cents, sorry. Eighth of a cent. Wow. A 0.008 of a cent. It's basically free to do transactions, and the more expensive it gets, that doesn't change. So there's a lot of reasons why the protocol is what you need to be really looking at, and why I'm letting people know just the truth. And if you haven't done your homework, I always tell people, do your homework on XRP, because it's coming, and basically it's just waiting for the flip of a switch. So we may see a big pump in the next few days. But even that is not the flick of the switch. When the flick of the switch happens, they're not hiding it. It's not like this is secret information or conspiracy information. You need just to do your homework, and you'll do some investigation. It's all over. It's on their websites. It's on the Federal Reserve websites. With FedNow, and there's a lot of stuff that they're all admitting. We work with Ripple. We use Ripple. Swift said we've been using Ripple for years. They let us use it. Now we tested it. Everything works. There are countries that have been testing this for 3 years already and haven't told people they're using it, but they've been using Ripple's network, which uses XRP. And there's a lot of people that don't understand it. It's all right in front of your faces, and at one day there's going to be a flick of a switch, and XRP is going to be the new Bitcoin. And a lot of people just say, oh, maybe it's going to hit $20 or whatever. Guys, Bitcoin was at $2 and hit I think it was $60-something thousand, and it was not even, it didn't even have a utility. It had no purpose except for a store of value. I'm not kidding. It had no purpose at all except for a store of value. And the more costly you get, the more costly it was to use. Bitcoin was the test. Ethereum was the next product. XRP was the final part. It was like the prototype was Bitcoin, and the rough draft was Ethereum. the Ethereum network. And now the final product is XRP. That's the one that the world is going to be using. And they've already told you. And if you don't know it, you need to do your investigation. This isn't, again, yay, Bitcoin, we want XRP to go up because we love XRP. No, we don't care for XRP. In fact, one day it could be used for evil purposes later in life. But I just want people to know that until way those days comes, the new money is changing hands, and money has to flow a different way, and it's going to be flowing through the interledger protocol using Ripple's technology, which is XRP, and that's why it's going to be number one. And there are a lot of reports also that people are saying it's very possible that they could regulate it, that only really the banks can use it, or the biggest monetary systems will be able to use it, and they're going to be paying you big bucks to buy out the rest of the XRP that is in existence. And there's only 1 billion. It's not like some of the other coins that just don't have any cap. It's not that type of thing. It's a very real thing, and it's coming, and there's not much time left. So I'm glad to set up this warning for you right now. And I hope that you are, you're encouraged by this message. If you didn't know about anything about XRP before, do some homework. Don't take my word for it, or come and join our chart room. The link is right here, and you can talk to some people. There's a lot of people who have done their homework to the T's. There's a lot of people who are way more knowledgeable than I am regarding XRP and the things. If you haven't seen my video regarding my dream, go ahead and take a look. It's one of my very first videos that I posted on here. It's a dream I had about a very big crash, and it's also a dream that I had. There's another dream in that same dream that I had about XRP, and they were back-to-back dreams. So it would be great if you stop and take a look, take a listen. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May he look upon you with favor. May he be abounding to you in grace. May he lift up his countenance toward you, and may he give you peace. And I pray for you. I bless you in Jesus' name. Remember that to place your trust, your real faith in Jesus Christ. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He offers eternal life for anyone who calls upon his name. He is the true King of all kings, and he offers the gift of life, which is more precious than any amount of wealth that you'll ever make on earth. So may God guide you over these next coming days about what you will do with your XRP. It could be scary. It could be very scary if you're just holding XRP, or if you're looking at those long red candles, or it can be very enticing if you're looking at those long green candles. At least I try to do my best to give you a map to help you make your decisions, so that you'll have a little better decision about when you're making your targets. And then I always show what I'm doing. I'm not a prophet. I am not a God. I don't foresee the future. I don't predict the future. I just read price action as best I can. And I care about you guys. Don't want you to get to miss out on some of the most important opportunities that are coming our way. So may God be with you. Have a great day, guys.